Hello. Is the volume good? I hope the volume is good. I hope I'm close enough to the microphone. Voice might be a bit raspy since it's been a hot minute since I've done this. Oh, sounds good? Well, that's wonderful. Again, hi Steve, hi Mini-Me. I'm so glad that you guys can make it. God, it feels like it's just been quite some time since I've last been around. With ASMR, it I kind of feel rusty with it. I do. And as you can tell, I went ahead and just put in a bit menu. You know, results may vary depending on how people feel about it, and I am up to suggestions, but I figured that this would be a definite good start. I have nothing else to do. Well, I think that's a good thing because if you don't have anything distracting, then you could just pay attention to me. Of course, some people can multitask, like listen to ASMR and then just be productive. Like, admittedly, I do that sometimes. But you don't get like the full blast of relaxation if you do that, which is something that I come to realize. And that made me wonder, if I really want to enjoy ASMR, I really shouldn't tune into anything else in the background. Yet, I just want that relaxing sense of serenity, like while I'm so productive. But I gotta remind myself, I gotta just, like, just tune in, actually have a good time, like tune into someone's chat. But man, I'm such a workaholic, and my friend always tells me that I just gotta take breaks. Of course, I have, like, gotten better at that. I mean, with her yapping always to me, I've always made sure to do so. And that has proven very, very fruitful to me. And I'm really excited to try some horror games that are going to be going on for my streams. Of course, you guys made some suggestions, but I have some suggestions of my own. I was thinking that after the stream, I'll just like throw in my suggestions into the suggestions channel, so that way you guys know what games I found. One of them is a FNAF game called Into the Pit, I believe it's called, that came out recently. I did watch one VTuber play it, and I thought it was like pretty interesting. Not sure if it's exactly up my alley, but it is something worth considering. Just imagine, like, you get to bask in all of the screams that I would just throw at you guys. And my screams are just very feminine. Very high-pitched. Even higher than what some women can even achieve, which is insane. Oh, that one that is based on the book. Oh, really? I didn't... I have the Silver Eyes book, but I just never got the chance to reading it. It's insane how it's just collecting dust, where I intended to read it because I got into watching the FNAF movie back then, but I just never read it. It's really, really insane. You think someone like me would just be able to actually get into it? The first 3 books are the best. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I have Silver Eyes, but it seems that I'm just getting so carried away with like a bunch of work to do off stream and hanging out with friends, where I'm pretty much fixed on what I'm gonna do. Now, I want to test this trigger out because I really didn't get the chance to test it out myself. I didn't at all. I've been meaning to try to find the time, but, well, it looks like we're gonna have to do it on stream, but let me know if you guys can hear this. I don't know if this mic is picking it up. Okay, I'm going to the right side. Oh, a tiny bit? It could be because this brush is not too effective. Let me see if I do it rapidly. Because then I may need to change my bit menu if this doesn't work out, and I can't return these because I just opened the package. Okay, let me try with a bigger brush. I'm gonna whip up... Wait, what? You were able to hear it? Oh. Wait, does me going rapidly actually help? Okay, here we go. Ooh, this one's firmer. Does it feel like your ears are getting blessed? Like some ear cleaning? Ah, I think I found the brush. Man, I want to hear this for myself, but I can't. Not unless I just connect my headset to this microphone, but I don't know if I want to do that because I'm just pretty well situated as I am right now, so you guys get to have these amazing triggers while I'm just like, yeah, I'm just here. That reminds me, I gotta watch more ASMR content on TikTok. Yeah, that is true, Steve, that is true. But yeah, I gotta watch more ASMR content on TikTok because I've been told that's like a hotspot for ASMR artists. As I tried looking up some stuff, but yeah, I just gotta be more specific, it seems. Like, it's definitely a great place to even do some research. So that way, if there's like any particular triggers I want that's like right there on the go, then and have a good time as well, then that's something that I could definitely get into. If I were to guess, I think it's like so niche for where people that are looking for certain triggers or can enjoy certain things like aesthetics and good looping, repeating time rather than just try to be patient with like how YouTube videos play out. Because if I were to guess, that's probably why some people are into ASMR on TikTok. At some point, I need to look up on how to practice voice stuff. It does take time, especially where if you like commit to it and do this for like a long time, especially with commentary, with making Let's Plays like how I used to do back then, it comes to you naturally later through time. But yeah, all it does is it takes practice and having a good resolve on why you want to do it and how you could see yourself having fun. So type 1 if you can hear this on the right side, but type 2 if you hear this on both sides. I just want to make sure that this is going well. It feels like I'm painting this microphone with this brush. It feels so silly. It's even mesmerizing. Wait, actually, even though I can't hear the brush sound effect, it's actually quite mesmerizing to look at how the brush just goes up and down. You know, maybe I should look up some paintbrushing ASMR videos for where they showcase the brush going up and down. It's hard to say because it's very small on the left, but hear it more on the right. That is so weird. Like, why does the left side... Hang on, let me try doing this. Okay. Type 1 if I'm hitting the hot spot on the left side, but type 2 if it's the same. It could be because I just have a really, really weird angle. Maybe it's because I was using my right hand and I wasn't getting that exact angle. Ah, okay. I think my problem is that I don't get at the right angles that I need to. I really, really need to make a better habit out of that. I need to be a better ASMR artist. It seems that there is no such thing as being a proper left-handist or right-handist. You just have to actually use one hand or the other, depending on which side you want to do. But hey, I get to learn something new every day. That's what trial and error is for. Okay, I learned something new. And I've also learned that it is quite appealing for me to just watch the brush go, even if I can't hear it. I never thought that it would be relaxing. But it does take me back in time to when I was a little kid, where you have those art classes and you're assigned to draw flowers or something so easy, so simple. Nothing like a Picasso or Leonardo da Vinci masterpiece. I'm just using this because I wonder what happens if you use both brushes. Wait, do you mean you want me to use brushes on both sides? Oh. Well, just to make sure you hear it well, hold on. I do have another big brush I could use. Okay. Let's see. How was that? It seems that the one I used on the left one was much firmer than the other one. Oh, you like that? Yeah, it seems that there are different firm qualities with these paintbrushes, but that's why I decided to buy a variety pack to see what would be good for me. So maybe, say, if I want to shop on Amazon, and I need very, very specific paintbrushes, then that's something I could totally do. Especially to buy high quality ones. Of course, you know, Amazon being Amazon, you kind of have to be quite careful with what you need to buy. I don't normally buy stuff from Amazon anymore, especially when, you know, if you want to get some merchandise. I mean, I used to be up for buying anime merchandise, but now it's just VTuber merchandise that I am all for. You should see the amount of Hazumi Eileen merchandise I have, and just how much cock ramen I'm about to get. The amount of cock ramen I'm about to get. I think it's gonna set me up for a really good while to ensure I'm full and eat very delicious, nutritious, and quote, healthy meals. One of the things I just got was a maid dress. Hey! Wait, in real life? I know you talked about, like, you know, your model, like, having a maid outfit. Oh, congratulations! I still need to try cross-dressing in real life, but I don't know if I would go for, like, a specific outfit, because, you know, like, I want something kind of, like, comfy, but androgynous. Like, you know how I talked about how I'm still debating if I'm gender fluid, or if I'm just a guy that, you know, wouldn't really mind the feminine stuff every now and then. Just whether to go with they, them at the end, or just stick with he no matter what. It's just some things I want to learn about, but also I want to be safely interpreted by some people. Because I know it's like, you know, a social construct as a way of means to help identify yourself as somebody in particular. But I totally believe in individualism, and I believe that's what matters. Like, I haven't thought about this too deeply. It wasn't until, you know, I shared my story with Snowy, and she was able to provide her input to me. For me, just femboy. Exactly. I can't really see myself as a femboy, because I don't really go out dressed as a femboy, or maybe not just something permanent, or not something really permanently solidified in my personality. Even though, hey, I like femboys. I think that even in anime, they can be very adorable, and I appreciate their appearances in such works. Even though some people refer to them as traps, but Come on, call them femboys. That's what you should call them as. I feel like it just kind of like diminishes the existence of femboys, and that's kind of disheartening. At least from my perspective. You know what I should probably do is get a better desk so that way I'm able to properly have more room for these triggers to do, especially for the left side. Because every time I try to use my right hand, I can't get that right angle for my microphone, which is something I find so silly. I really gotta tell myself how to look out for that. But I'm sure that in due time, that will come along. I will say, though, that I have thought to myself, maybe I can be comfortable with he, him, they. Like, I thought about trying it on for size, like maybe on my socials, just to see how it works. Maybe I could say gender fluid pending. I mean, I feel like a part of me actually wouldn't exactly care. The main dress I'm drawing is one I already have, but just editing for October. Hey! Nice. You know, it is great that it's not too late for me to plan anything for Spooktober, and you guys are 100% up for it. Like, back then, when I had trouble, like, planning stuff out, and when Spooktober come, nobody gave me suggestions for, like, celebrating the holidays, so you guys going out of your way to make suggestions for me, that means a lot to me. I never thought I could, like, even have that kind of fan base at all. I just thought, I'm a loser, and I'm not like the other streamers for where people dedicate so much to them that they want to provide some awesome suggestions, but you guys have went out of your way to provide some suggestions to me, especially waiting until I manage to return. Of course, I'm thinking that when holiday sales hit, I have discussed this in my general chat in Discord, that I like to do some laid-back streams when holidays hit. Like, we could react to memes, or maybe go over some food. Like, you know, I like to go over food with whatever I post on Twitter that you guys may have noticed. I would love to just, like, watch food porn on YouTube and then just kind of go over them with you guys. Maybe we could even watch snippets from Delicious in Dungeon and just go over how, oh man, how amazing, like, the food in that anime is. Just a baking stream. What, with me baking? I don't know if I could pull that off. Like, I've never really dabbled in baking that much. Not really. I mean, I baked brownies, but that's just with pre-made mix that you buy at the store. One of my moderators, Enemy, is a baker, and he knows a lot on how to bake. Yes. If you tell him, oh yeah, I love baking, like the stuff I buy at the store to get all the ingredients ready in a single box is great, he's gonna say otherwise. Does not have to be anything big. That is true, that is true. But I'd still like to do my part with my streams. Of course, you know, it's not just like me, you know, streaming for the sake of streaming, just to make sure I reach well in analytics. Of course, you know, say if I do well with numbers and I want to reach partner, then, well, of course you gotta stream often. And I have been wondering, with how far I've been coming along with the amount of commitments I've been wanting to make towards, like, streaming, making content, all the effort I want to put in, I have lied in the back of my mind saying I don't want to try making it out there or make a good, decent living off of it, because I have good intentions, but I realize I don't think it hurts to even try, because I like this so much that for me to give it my all, I think that's something fun to do. And while I most certainly have friends to support me, especially with all the network I've been doing, things are definitely looking great. You, if get my message, I'm having Wi-Fi trouble in a place unstable right now. I'm afraid I won't be staying for stream today. Sorry. Have a good stream and much love. Of course, Mini-Me. But feel free to watch the VOD. If you could still hear me, watch the VOD. The VOD will be there. Oh, and speaking of which, I'm making a better habit in posting my VODs onto YouTube. And also, you know how I've been using music by infraction? Well, it turns out that there is a claim made. It's not like a copyright claim. No, no. It's just saying this music belongs to infraction, but there are no copyright strikes. It's to say the music belongs to them. You can have good intentions and still making a living off of it. True, true. But back then, I was just so hung up on escapism for my life with like dealing with an anxiety disorder, and I thought I've done this for blah 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 many years, and then where am I at now? But yeah, and I wasn't relying on medication back then to deal with my Asperger's, and I didn't have the tools necessary with like how to interpret life. Until later on I did. Man, why am I so short breath? It's kind of interesting. I've been working 8 hours today, and even training a trainee wasn't too bad. I think it's because I'm kind of nasally, and when I'm kind of nasally, it's kind of hard to breathe. Wow. Am I good? Hmm? Actually, you know what? I want to try doing some deep breaths. You know what? I think that'd be nice. Deep breaths under the rain sounds really nice. Just breathe in. And out. I should make that into a channel point redeem. I'm gonna need a very friendly reminder. Where was the... Oh, I did not add the thing for where I can like... Okay, so on Stream Manager, there is something I could do where I could just bookmark a certain section that tells me, yeah, this part of the stream's interesting. But I need to add that. I need to add that in sometime. We are 28 minutes in, so I'm gonna have to try to remember that. Now, as for like me just kind of going back on topic with like how me debating if I'm gender fluid or not, you know how I talked about my hairstyle? I've been wondering though, like it seems like pretty slow in getting there to be like long. But maybe I'd say if there's like a little bit more time, I could have as much hair as what's seen on my model. I could put deep breathing into suggestions if you want. Yeah, feel free to. That would help me out. It would. But yeah, like, I've always wanted to be more stylized, but I kind of wanted to be androgynous, like, to show some flowiness to it, but also show I am my own man and ready to dominate the world. That's the kind of vibes that I wish to give off. But I just don't know, like, it's kind of sad that I don't really know too much about, like, certain hairstyles that guys could go for that's not really masculine. So I may need to look up women's hairstyles and just see if there's one that seems androgynous that I would like to apply myself to. If I ever get around to doing that, maybe I would post it in real life picture of myself. I mean, I have like exposed my face before on Twitter for like that one trend, so I wouldn't be like too ashamed to do it. Still, I've just like not really been thinking too much onto it. And also, I really hope that nobody would like judge me at the workplace, like at any of the stores I work at. Maybe at like two of the stores, like, maybe people won't really care, or maybe they just think, huh, interesting. It seems kind of feminine, but somehow this guy seems to pull it off. If I can give off those kinds of vibes, then I feel like I'll be safe, but maybe there's one store where I feel like I would get judged for it, like in the kind of area that it's in. So, yeah, environmental factors is one reason why I've got the hesitation. Oh, you posted a pic of your hair? Oh, I'll be sure to actually. I can look it up. What did you post on Discord? Oh, that's an interesting coloring of the hair. Wow, especially like the first pic. Wow, that must have been really difficult to get it down right. Wow, that must have not been easy, was it? That is interesting. That's actually really interesting that you got your hair to be like that. Again, I am so mesmerized by this brush right now. Especially when I do it slowly. I am so easily hypnotized. I'm like so easily hypnotized with how threads slowly come together, in and out. I remember being so fascinated over these as a kid. I'm trying to remember if it was a nature documentary film where something like this occurred and I just thought, wow, beautiful. Maybe it was the hairs of an animal acting like this, I can't remember. Or a special effect applied to a cartoon or something. I can't really remember. But still, the threads of my hair. It's definitely getting thick, but quite comfortable to kind of like caress my hand through. I will admit though, like, the only like trimming I've done to my hair so far was just to get rid of like, you know how some guys have neck hair? It's always so annoying. I don't really like that. So I just took a pair of scissors and just tried to trim as best as possible because I didn't have a razor to do it, and I'm not sure if that's even safe to do at all. So I just decided to cut as best as possible until I felt like it could be completely covered once my hair grows out a bit more. And it has been. I think it would be nice if I had a bit of wavy hair. I feel like that would fit perfectly with me. Just to get some waves going on. If I can just like, have hair I would just love to put my hands through. And for like, say, when the time comes in someone's life to get a partner, if they would caress through my hair. Oh my god, that'd be so wonderful. That's exactly what I would want. Man, I am getting more comfortable talking about this stuff. This is great. This ASMR stream is turning good for me to like, again, explore the possibilities if I have a fluid gender or not. And I like how society is progressing to where, yes, there are still those that are old-fashioned, but there are others that... Oh, hi, Vix! How are you? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. This is the new trigger that we are testing out, which is brushies. Make it sound like it's, like a little bit like ear cleaning. Well, with what I can do with a Blue Yeti. But how are you, Vix? I hope you're doing well. We were just going over, like, with like how I'm still exploring the idea if I'm gender fluid or not. Me still seeing myself as a guy, but just am curious over they, them pronouns. Since, unlike my traumatizing childhood for where I am properly free to explore, it has been great with like how I've been like meditating on these thoughts. But, you know, I mean, worst case scenario, if I still see myself as a guy, it's nice to know that, well, I'm a guy that's a guy, but that just so happens to be into these things. I know that for some people, with their appropriated genders, that it's about certain clothes they wear or how they act and feeling like it suits them better, which is something that I think is really cool that helps them match up with like their personality. It's always good to know how you feel about yourself and take as much time as you need. Hell yeah. I'll definitely take as much time as I need. And how's this trigger for you, Vex? I've been told that this has been a good trigger so far, but I would love to hear your thoughts. I can't stop staring at the brushies. This may have been one of the best purchases I've ever made. Where I get to look at this, but I don't get to hear it unless I go back and watch the VOD. Oh yeah, speaking of ASMR content, so I've been talking with others, and while I try to be careful with like scripted ASMR content over yanderes, it seems that even if it seems like parasocial for where like, you know, YouTube can detect it as parasocial behavior, that it could get possibly flagged, which is like, oh no, really? Or just to like push it away from proper interaction. So it does make me think that when I go for a 2.0, do I want to portray myself anything like a yandere? I mean, you know, like I keep kind of switching things up back and forth with how my lore is to be and the kind of VTuber I want to be, but it's nice that I am exploring these options with how I can get around to all of this. LMAO, sorry, I've been listening, just overloaded. It's alright. Doing okay outside of I think I'm getting sick, so meh, he'll be fine. I hope you feel better. I hope it's not COVID, because I actually have an in real life friend that did get COVID because of a coworker. He did not get the updated vaccine and he got sick. Which reminds me, I really should get the updated vaccine. I saw posters on one of the stores I go to that offers a new vaccine, so I should definitely schedule a day for me to get the vaccine, like have plenty of chicken noodle soup, maybe citrus soda, so that way I'm all set to go, because the after effects of me getting the shot are, yeah, it makes me woozy. Also, I think you should definitely let you do you and figure stuff out at your own pace. True. So, I'm not gonna rush it anytime soon. You're right. I'm... I'm not. I'm not gonna rush it. I'll just say that I love tinkering with this idea. Just like how I love to tinker around with the idea about, like, you know, as I've told you guys before, that I want to create some awesome cover songs and maybe originals, but as I have like talked to certain people, they told me that conducting original songs can get hella expensive. Even more expensive than like regular cover songs. Regular cover songs, like, if the art seems simplistic, if not too much editing is required, but when it comes to original songs, if there is a lot of thought to put into it, that could be troubling. And in which case, I would definitely need some funding projects like donathon goals, if possible, maybe bidathons, in order to actually reach a certain point. Because if I were to do an original song, now I know that it's going to require time, money, a lot of thought, the right people, right networking. Oh my god. There's a lot more than I thought there was to be, so definitely a lot to learn about. But I'm sure in due time that singing will, you know, it will get there. Damn, a lot goes into it, huh? Yeah. But I imagine there may be like easy ways, but if you want to do like really good on it, especially to present it in a way that's very, very memorable, and you have a good backing with your audience, then yeah, it can cost quite the amount of money. I don't know why my chest feels kind of funny as I'm just vibing here. It's like the funny thing just sticking around to me. I do feel kind of nasally. I mean, I shouldn't even have a cold at all, as I managed to get over it. So, I don't know why the cold's trying to make a comeback to me. It's like so weird. I took some meds, so I'm probably gonna pass out soon, but hope stream goes well and all. Okay, rest well, and feel free to watch the VOD after you get some good rest. Well, I hope my stream helps you conk out. So yeah, conk out to your heart's content. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Do it. Oh, I just remembered. I didn't really post the stream on... Hang on. I just realized that. Hang on. 1 second. Oh my god, Snowy, you adorable friend. Oh my god, Snowy. You didn't. She actually beat me to it before I could. Snowy is so cute. She did it for me. Snowy is so adorable. She posted the stream in this one Discord server I'm a part of. Oh my god. I guess she realized that I forgot, and she just decided to just post it, my link in there. Oh my god, Snowy. She's like one of the bestest friends you could ever have. She's such a sweetheart. And she has told me that she did get a streaming card, so with her streams in the future, it's going to be much more possible now, and I'm really rooting for her. I swear. I feel like one of those like people with like the light sticks, and I just want to swing around everywhere for her, just so that way I could just cheer her on. Oh yeah, something interesting that I've learned about like light stick culture when it comes to, well, idol culture, is that each color represents who your Oshi is in an idol group. I've learned this from Oshi no Ko. So each idol gets to pick a color that represents them, and those in the audience, like at concerts, they swing around light sticks that's their favorite, or whoever is the main one singing. Something I find pretty interesting. Like, the first time I've ever been around like light sticks being swung back and forth was off Kai, and I've always seen like varying colors on display, especially when on a Saturday I was at like the big singing concert, like featuring Bao, Kirara, God, I am not good with names. One of them sung the NTR song, I'll just say that. The VTuber that's known for the NTR song. That's gonna go down in history for what she's forever known as. Just like how my Oshi is known as the Cocktuber, with her Vite Ramen collab, that noodle sucking video on Twitter she posted. I don't think a bunch of her fans are gonna let her live her down for that. But I'm so glad that the cock flavor of ramen was brought back, because I didn't get a chance to buy it. I mean, you know, I could have just eaten it in my hotel room, but, well, I didn't have anything to prepare for it. I mean, I could have bought stuff, but still. And I wasn't going to have enough room in my bags, because I bought enough merchandise and I didn't have a checked bag at the time. And as for whether or not I will be going to Off-Guy again next year, most likely not, because I'm going to go to Anime NYC to see in real life friends. Now, what I find odd about that is that I'm not fully caught up on anime. I'm actually really behind. Even though if someone gets me to watch certain anime, then, well, I will. Just like how me and an in real life friend watched Delicious in Dungeon to explore the Dungeons and Dragons, like, you know, feel that it has, which I thought was pretty interesting, even though the closest I've gotten to it was playing only a bit of Baldur's Gate 3. But once Lullaby makes her debut, she says that she wants to play Baldur's Gate 3 with me. And you know, Baldur's Gate 3 is a long collab, and I definitely want to get to know her well better, and I think that's going to be a fantastic opportunity to do so. Like, I'm so looking forward to how that's going to go for me. And I'll finally say, I can no longer come with the excuse to say, oh, I never finished it, oh, I was peer pressured. But I get to finally play Baldur's Gate 3 properly. I know. And she's big into RPGs as well as Soulsborne games, so I think me and her are a good matchup with being friends with each other, if you ask me. Because it is. It is a wooden frog. I bought it at the fair. Well, at a fair 3 hours away from my home because it was a better fair than my home states. I'm so glad, because this is what I get to have here. I just saw it and thought, ASMR. I was testing out the noise and thought, this sounds very familiar. It's such a delicate thing it's made out of. Even a few of my friends even have this, which is great. They have great taste. But I'm back on topic with Delicious in Dungeon. God, it's just make me enjoy cooking more and more. Because when you cook, like, really good meals for yourself, like, really go full at it, your mood in life just really improves. Which would explain with how I've been coping well with, you know, oh sure Steve, have a good lurk. With having, you know, coffee alongside. Like, it really helps me, like, just get through life a whole lot better. With nourishing myself, getting all that delicious protein in my pancakes, and even the breakfast sandwiches I made that I posted on Twitter. Oh, those were so good. I don't usually have guacamole with anything, but that was the major exception. It tasted so good. I'm not one usually for guacamole, but when I do, oh, it's so good. Man, it would have been nice if guacamole got used in Delicious in Dungeon, or if they found something to mimic that. Like, I think that if they managed to pull that off, that'd be so good. Would guacamole look good in anime? I mean, when I was messing with that in real life, I thought it looked really good. And I think that you can mess well with the greens and the spices included in guacamole to look good in anime. Oh, hi Steve, welcome back. God, I'm craving for those breakfast sandwiches again. I may order them again because they're so good. And I usually make my eggs scrambled, but with the way I cook them, by just cracking them and only piercing them with a fork slightly, and then stirring them once, wow. And then just microwaving them, wow. But how do you do that without microwaving it, though? Not unless there's like a very specific pan that you use to get them cooked in a certain way. Yeah, like, I've never thought about microwaving eggs before. I thought that was, like, so unhealthy and unethical, but it works! If you need them to, like, be perfect for breakfast sandwiches, then, yeah, don't rely on a stovetop. Don't make them scrambled. Don't boil them, just nuke them in the microwave, and you should be set and done in prepping them that way, perfect for breakfast sandwiches. Though if you're making a breakfast burrito, I believe that's a different story entirely. Man, my ASMR is getting me tired already? Wow. Me tired. Me sleepy. Me so sleepy. But other things, when your own ASMR makes you so relaxed you fall asleep, I know. But hey, even if it does, it just means there's potential to increase my stamina, because then my tolerance for it increases, and that means I could continue on for much longer periods of time. And we're only 52 minutes in. I can't just stop now. No, I will not sleep. Oh, thank you. Yes, I actually needed this. Which reminds me, I did not do yoga. Because I did sleep in for a little bit, but that's just a little bit of lag at my sleeping schedule, where I should be able to, you know, just get it back properly. Like, hell, I even felt so slept in well that I didn't even... Oh, my clip on my water bottle fell. But I don't really need it. I'll just, There we go. Oopsie doopsie. Other than food, the stuff that I like in Delicious and Dungeon is the main character. Like, the main character, he reminds me of some ways, like, both from childhood, teenage years to adulthood, for where he's like so clueless with taking certain social cues from certain people, and I just thought, oh my god, finally, I get this person. I've been there the way he has been, especially with hyperfixations that he has on certain things, like his wild fantasies over what he has over in the anime. I mean, not like the same thing, no, it's just like seeing somebody that's so weirdly into something despite, you know, being an adult. Like, whenever I see such characters, it helps make me feel so valid with, like, the autistic side of me. Like, the autistic side of me gets, like, overly excited over, like, some particular things, even though society taught me to, like, keep better in control of myself, but there's still that little boy in me that wants to come out from time to time. And that little boy just wants to do well as a man and remind himself there are still good times ahead of you. Don't forget the good feelings of what it was like to be creative and free, and adults can be creative and free too. Exactly, Fix. Exactly. Why am I tired? No. Eyes. My eyes say I'm tired, but my body says yes. This is what happens when you haven't done ASMR in a while. You become weak to it. ASMR, don't you know, is like a muscle? I say it always good to have a child side, like still doing stuff with Lego. And some adults even do Lego building streams, and I want to do one someday. I want to build Legos and put a Lego flower display somewhere in my home to say I did that. I did that. I was the one that did that. I did that. And I'm proud of myself. What can you do, I managed to make a great achievement. I had a lot of time as an adult to make that. What do you have to say for yourself? And people watch me for it, huh? People watch me for it. That's an even great accomplishment. Even if it was just one person, that's still a great accomplishment. Inner child should never go away. If you can't have fun, you can't enjoy life. Exactly. It's such a shame that a lot of adults out there, especially those in the older generation, like Generation X, for example, raised to believe they had to give up their childhood side and, quote, grow up. But, you know, in some cases that has definitely led to some problems with, like, say, childhood trauma, whether, like, minor to say they don't believe in themselves properly, or major in case something really bad happened. For me, it's a mix of both. I mean, the worst my father has ever done was, like, spank me horrendously, but sometimes at very inappropriate times, or to the point that, you know, some things could have been solved better, like if I actually made proper truces with my siblings instead of just saying whoever did it first, or whoever caused the most damage is the 100% at fault. It's like as if they believe in, like, the modern day prison system, for where if you do something bad, then yeah, you're a bad person, lock away the key, or just go through intense punishments. I feel like with that kind of mindset, it's just so toxic, like, even to society. Like, we really gotta, like, learn to actually, like, you know, understand one another. Wow, I'm getting, like, really deep into this. I have really broad interpretations over life. Like, that's a thing I've had since as a child. Even if I'm wrong, I always want to try to think outside the box. It's like, if you do the math on society and given American culture, which ergo, abusing kids with the belt is just a product of that. Like, I've always wanted to know, why did my father spank me horrendously, like the way he did, even when I was just 2 years old, for where, of course, I'm not going to know better, but he brought the belt on me when I was 2 years old? Now tell me, is that child abuse, or is that just, what is child abuse? Even though he was just trying to play as a responsible father, for where if a child do bad, then yeah. But still, I just can't help but think that all the times that we got spanked as kids was just overkill. Like, there could have been much better alternatives, but he thought that was the only option. There were far better alternatives. Like, say, I don't know, like, do good for the environment together, like go pick up litter together, go in a productive project together, learn to cope together. But no, just spank, and as, you know, things bubble up, things explode again, and oh, that means more spanking. It's so stupid with, like, how some people believe that's the only solution to solve troubled children. No. Children develop and grow, and their environment pressurizes them into how to interpret the world around them. That's my logical way of thinking. Although I think my friend Snowy has a much better input than I do. She took psychology classes while I only took, like, yes amount. But I feel like she's got some very interesting inputs. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm glad you did. Monkey see, monkey do tactics. The environment isn't very good. The kid might not grow up so well either. Yes. And that resulted in so much anxiety within me. I was plagued with anxiety for many years. Especially when my brothers, like, ganged up on me. Yeah, because when my father just stopped spanking us and just said, do what they want because he was having hardships with his job, that's when all the buildup from the repressed emotions and proper building that could have happened but never happened just exploded. Yeah. But I don't really talk about like things that occur with my siblings because few of them I can get along with, and I feel like I'd be doing them dirty. I don't want to like dox them or anything. Thank you. Finishing mania. What mania are you finishing, good sir? What mania do you speak of? What mania could you be referring to? WrestleMania? No thanks. But yeah. Like, it just became a nuclear family. But I will say, my younger brother was an ass. I'm not ashamed to admit it. He was a fucking asshole, and he was manipulative. Even sometimes manipulative to my own parents, just to say I was at fault completely. And that caused even more anxiety for me. And I didn't have the proper means to defend myself that well because of the anxiety buildup. So that became a double whammy for me. Even though there were times I tried to reconcile, but because my personality, well, my temper switched, because I have triggers that can be easily pushed, and I try to contain them, I always try to do right, but then when the trigger activates, my brother would oftentimes say, see, you're not sorry because you did this. You're not truly sorry. You only hate me. You're full of hate. Well, he didn't exactly say that, but you could say that's what he implied. Despite the many times I tried to right myself, which led to the manner of thinking, if I make a mistake or try to stand up for myself in any way, then I have to apologize for it. It has led to some very, very repressed times for me, for where I felt like I was bound to apologize, to say, oh, I was at fault because I didn't keep myself in check. If I just stood quietly and let things happen, then of course it's my fault. I have to not speak up, otherwise it is my fault. But I'm glad that I managed to snap out of that after so many years. Like, even that way of thinking can affect someone into adulthood, and you know, with like any mistakes someone makes like that, some people will be forgiving, but others will be like, you just stood by and let it all happen, or you didn't say anything properly. Which can be really heartbreaking for some people that grew up in really, really harsh environments. Like, I've even like noticed some VTuber drama that has occurred that's related to that. And just me like hearing their like traumatic backstories and them saying they're trying to get better but not seek like sick redemption, like certain VTubers I do not like that just don't appear sorry at all. Then if I happen to be following them and I do hear like what they want to do, then I may stick around to see if they will fulfill that promise or not. And if they do, then yeah, I'm glad to be still following them. But if not, then just kind of raise some eyebrows. I just judge based on people's actions, and I often want to know why. I don't know why, but the spanking talk reminds me of hypocritical attitudes that certain parents have. Your pops caught you smoking, and he says, no way, the hypocrite smokes 2 packs a day? Oh, hi, Phantom. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. I've never really been raised that way, even though, you know, obviously there would be no underage drinking allowed at the household, but yeah, my dad, I mean, it's not like once he drinks beer, he just, like, turns the house upside down, becomes, you know, one of those abusive husbands and fathers. No, he wasn't like that, so. But it did cause a bit of escapism with him because his job just was so stressful that that's what he resorted to. He's not like that anymore, and I'm really proud that he gave up on that stuff, but it was more so for health reasons on his medication. And when he had to quit that stuff, It was a traumatic side effect for his system because it put his system in shock. Like, it took a great deal of time for his body to properly adjust without requiring the need of alcohol just to be in his system because his body recognized it as a necessity to get through life. But for me, I'm just more of a social drinker. Like, I mean, after seeing like how my father was, I just knew, yeah, I don't want to get into any addictions of any kind. So I didn't. Except for coffee. But I'm glad I got over that and maintained proper control. I only was addicted to that stuff, one, because of college, and two, it made me believe I could do anything with it just to get some stuff out of the way and deal with my anxiety disorder. Three, it just feels good. Like, it just gives me a nice vibe of relaxation. Of course, I've said this many, many times. Like, many, many times. My parents never drank or smoked, just reminded me. That's fair. Aw, thank you, Steve, for the hugs. Thank you. I appreciate it. And now it's back to yawning. That's a good yawn. Maybe I really had toxins in the back of my mind over stress, and this ASMR stream just helps relieve of that. Yawns are essential for the brain to help them stretch out. Because without yawns, I've noticed that, like, you know, the times that I've been so tired but didn't yawn, I feel like I would just faint sometimes. Yawns can help you kind of, like, cope with the brain and just kind of help transition into something to sleep into. Or even when you wake up, just like get the brain active. It's like a transitional switch. Like, I mean, I'm no scientist, but that's something that I've noticed, and I'm not gonna be ashamed to yawn during stream. Now I cough, I'm sad. Man, I'm getting so sleepy. No. No, don't go to sleep. No. You will not go to sleep. Okay, I think I'm still good. But you know, when it comes to being sleepy, like how I just like eat a bunch of food, it used to be for where I just get so sleepy after eating a bunch of food, but now I don't anymore. I wonder if that's because like I'm just slowly getting back my BMI. I have noticed while looking at the mirror, my body shape has gotten bigger again ever since I got, you know, better self-care to take care of myself, and the hours are starting to become more lax until, you know, Halloween comes from. Yes, you do, Steve. You do. I could see how 20 more minutes will do for me. I'll see how that goes for me in the long run. An hour and a half is my best time with ASMR content. But I definitely want to come up with more ways to ensure that, you know, I can make me being an ASMR artist work. I mean, it's tough doing that while you're being like a memer, like with my YouTube shorts. And I'm starting to lean towards the meme side. Join the meme side. We have cookies. Join the dark side. We have cookies. Hey, Phantom, where's Enemy? I bet he'll get a crack at this with me talking about the dark side because, you know, he loves Star Wars. I'd be surprised if I don't manage to summon him. He is one big Star Wars fanatic. That I can say for sure. Oh, wasn't there a Star Wars original that was an anime posted on Disney Plus? Did people say it was shitty, or was that just a toxic group that said it was shitty? What would happen if I actually watched that anime, Will I regret it? Will my lifespan decrease to say I wasted my time watching it? Was it a Star Wars original story, like, not based on the lore at all? I know some of the lore to Star Wars thanks to my moderator slash friend Enemy. But what about that anime? Is it just a spin-off? I know that the latest trilogy, you know, with like when Star Wars was revived again, that he compared it to like fan fiction, which I thought was pretty wild of him to do. But I wasn't too much. Wait, no, that's a lie, because I enjoy Clone Wars a lot, even though my memory span is yes for how much I remember of that show. Oh yeah, I did talk about that. Did talk about to you guys with how much I know about Star Wars. But I can't say I'm a Star Wars fan anymore. Not really. It was just kind of a phase for me. I mean, for sure, I'll always be a down-to-earth Lord of the Rings fan. And I'm always a critique with how Lord of the Rings games are, and oftentimes I'm afraid with how certain Lord of the Rings games are. Like, the game Return to Moria, I wasn't so sure how I felt about that, because I like story-rich games over Lord of the Rings because I like to explore lore in ways that hasn't been explored in certain mediums that would fit well. And also, speaking of which, I'm excited of the War of Rohirrim that will come out December. And my sister, she is so down for it. And she is not one to usually watch anime, although I'm not sure if it is anime or not. If it was made by an American animation team, it's not anime. It's more like it took inspiration from Castlevania animations, you could say, with like the quality of it. Roar! Oh yeah, roar is a trigger word. I just remembered that. Wonder how I feel doing it. Roar! 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 Man, that is comforting to say. I can see why a lot of people like that trigger word. I mean, I'm like pretty much whatever when it comes to the trigger word, but it actually is pretty nice to say even. It's like a cute, aggressive way to greet somebody, but you're not gonna like beat them up or anything. It's like, I'm gonna beat you up with friendship kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's like so weird with like how I try to go on with like making it sense in my head. Ah. I know no one redeemed a stretch, but I gotta do this. Because as soon as I just laid back in my chair, I felt those cracks in my back. I just had to. Purrs, huh? Oh, you mean like that? Yeah, I could totally do that. Why have I never made that into a trigger? Why? Steve, please write that down in suggestions chat, please, before I forget. I don't want to forget. Ah, my god, I love doing that. It's so great. I love doing that. That was so fantastic. Man, I really am getting EP. Come on, I got 15 minutes remaining on the clock here. Ugh. Wow. Why are these... Oh my god, when you're so rusty with triggers, you just go to sleep. No! You know what's funny is that I wrote down, like, a bunch of notes with, like, things to help prep myself to, like, get back in the groove of streaming, but it seems like I still got some ways to go. But this is definitely a good start right here with what I've got going on. Wow. I just kind of nearly conked myself out there. Like, I just want to take a nap. Oh my god, no. I'm supposed to be making you guys sleep. Wow. It's just so insane with how it works. Maybe I should just max out my tiredness. I'll just say that's the motivation for where after less than 15 minutes from now, for like warming up to get back into ASMR, I can reward myself that way. It's these rain sounds. I blame these rain sounds. Oh, thank you, Steve. I will do just that then. Thank you. Trigger words can be like anything. I've even like heard of silly words suggested by chat for somebody to be a trigger word just because it sounds comforting to them. Like, you don't need to think too hard about it. If there's like a word you love being repeated to you over and over again, then yeah, that's your trigger word. Like, say cloud, or like say love. That could be a good trigger word. Or even like peace or serenity. It can be many things. It's all up to you. All right then. Love. 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 Honestly, I also want to do some purrs again, so... But hey, I mean, it's just something I only just recently discovered that I could do. So here we go. Oh my god, I actually love doing that. Okay, I want to do some more. It actually felt really good on my vocal cords. You would think purring would be bad, like with voice acting and such, to like damage the vocal cords or tire it out, but wow, I actually feel much more cleared up doing so, so. I am really glad to hear it, Steve. I really am. Okay, hands down, it's so amazing that I can even do purrs for that long. Again, I didn't even know that I could do it for that long. I just find it so surprising. I find it so insane. Man, that's a talent. Like, I mean, of course I did, like, purrs as a kid and, like, teenage years and sometimes adult years, but I think it's because of this one ASMR video I watched with nothing but purrs that I thought, huh, that sounds nice. Imagine if I could replicate it, but, well, I just did. I actually just managed to do it. I find that so amazing. Wow! I did it! I did it! Me. I did it. Okay. I hope your throat takes care. I hope it does. I will not get sleepy. Not yet. Now. Now. But I did run out of water. Oh no. Well, I was really thirsty today, unlike most days. Of course, I know why. I'm aiming to better that with myself. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Oh god, I'm starting to slur my speech a bit. Swearing my speech. My speech is swearing. Oh my god. My speech. My speech. Did you know that I can really do baby talk if I really get tired?
It's a curse that I have where I do baby talk if I'm really tired. Oh, welcome back, Steve. My baby talk mode is activated because I'm feeling really tired right now, but hey, I just want to get to the hour and a half mark. And then I'm going to take notes because I have been getting better and better at ways to improve upon myself.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I also kind of did that for like the lulz. It's how I just transition into doing that. I fucking hate how I'm so weak to rain sounds. It's odd because I used to be so skeptical of the rain because of thunderstorms, but I don't know why I find that so relaxing. I guess it's because, like, you know, years after finding out that it's really not that harmful to you, or, oh, you never got struck by lightning, so why do you have to be afraid, huh? Huh? For where I associate, like, the sense of danger into knowing I am safe no matter what. I get to embrace this because it was a great achievement to just get over as a kid. That's how I interpret my love for rain, pretty much. I just find it so nice. So very, very nice. Alright, I think I'll go ahead and raid into somebody. But yeah, certainly a lot of note-taking. Like, I'm definitely gonna start getting some better, much better ideas. Oh, wow. Ugh. Yep. Okay, I'll raid into somebody. So, question is who am I going to raid into? Who's live that's doing ASMR? That's who I want to raid into. Oh! You's doing some ASMR. How good! How very, very good. Oh, that makes me so happy. Anything else? We have someone named Sevi. Then we have Cozy Chew. Okay. Well, she is the one that, like, helped me a bit with some ASMR, so I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to, like, raid into Dearly You. Oh my god, her Halloween version of her model looks so sick! I love it! So, okay. So here is the raid message for everyone to copy and paste. And we'll go ahead and give her a big hello. It was really nice to get back into ASMR. I could definitely tell that I'm still rusty. And I'm gonna have to get out of my rustiness to make things work properly. But thank you all for joining me. It's nice that we discovered some new triggers. Yay! Awesome! Woo! Okay, you all take care. I love you all. God, I'm so tired.